Hey, what's good guys? Yu-Gi-Oh! Kid J606 here. Today is going to be a double feature. I'm going to be opening the new Zexal book, which I'm pretty sure has Black Ship of Corn, number 50. I think that's what it's being called now, I don't know. They changed the name a couple times. And I'm going to show you guys Madolche's. Let's first get into the book. I gotta eat it. Let's see. Don't have nails for this. Oops, Madolche's, no. I knocked it over. Alright, I penetrated the plastic. Oh yep, is the Black Ship of Corn, so let's try to do that without damaging the card. Or the book, because I actually read these. Oh man, I gotta get scissors. BRB. Oh man, I got it. Ooh, look at that. That looks pretty nice. Black Ship of Corn. Pretty broken. If you guys don't know what it does, it's actually a plant. I guess corn plant, I don't know. But it's a ship. And it's in the sky. I don't know. Once per turn, well, it's a generic rank 4, so it takes 2 rank 4s, or 2 level 4s. Basically, once per turn, you can detach one Exceed material from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls with an attack less or equal to this card's. Then you can send it to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. So basically, it's like a rank 4 version of Tim Tempo, I guess you could say. It basically just kills this guy right here. Zenmains. Kills like this, Maestroke, you know, other cards like that. It's going to be very good, and I'm actually putting it in my extra deck right after this video. But yeah, really good card. And I definitely recommend you guys start buying these. Kachi Kochi was in the last one, which is about a $10 card when it came out, and I traded mine for like some solid stuff, so let's now get into the Madolche deck. Put this here. So if you guys don't know, Madolches are pretty much like a newer archetype. Basically, each Madolche, the first line of it says, when this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard, either by an opponent's card effect or by battle, you shuffle it into the deck. That's just a little background, but let's get started with the deck. So we play 3 Madolche Mageline. It's basically like the Stratos of the deck. When you normal summon it, you can add a Madolche to your hand, Madolche monster. So it's really good. And since it always goes back in the deck, you can basically create like an infinite gadget loop where you're just searching itself multiple times. Since it goes back in the deck, you'll never like lose, or you'll never run out of Magelines. Next one, you got 3 Madolche Crupsant. Crupsant's actually really broken for the deck. I'll explain it later. It's mainly like broken in combination with like a spell card. But basically, once per turn, you can computer froze. You can target one Madolche card on your field and put it back to your hand. He gains a level and 300 attack, so it becomes like an 1800 beat stick, and he keeps the attack, and you can do it once per turn, so it's actually really good for the deck. Next, we have 3 Madolche Mufile. Basically, when it's normal summon, you can special summon Madolche in your hand. Weak stats, but it's a really good combo card for the deck. Next, we have 2 Madolche Messenger Gelato. Not only does he have great stats for the deck, when it's special summoned and you control a Beast type Madolche monster, you can add 1 Madolche spell or trap to your hand. So basically, it's great in combination with like, Madolche Mufile. And after you play the deck a little while, you can pretty much find out like he's broken in so many ways. Like if you have like Ticket out and other stuff, and you're able to special summon it because you have Madolche Fairy out, and you have a Beast type, it just causes so many combos. It's really insane. 2-effect Veiler. I prefer the Silver Max C in this deck. Though Max C is very good and it lets you draw, it's not good against everything, and I think Veiler is just overall a better card right now. And because Macro Rabbit's very prevalent, like, it's good against Macro Rabbit, unless they have Macro out, but... Then we have 2 Tragodia. You keep a decent hand count in this deck because you get a lot of +1s from like spell cards. And for the spells, we have 3 Madolche Chateau. Basically, when you activate it, you can shuffle all Madolche monsters back into the deck, and all Madolches gain 500 attack when it's active. And when a Madolche monster would be sent from your, I gotta get the exact text. If a monster in your graveyard would be turned to the deck by the effect of a Madolche monster, you can add it to your hand instead. So basically, it lets like all your Madolches, when they would be sent back to the deck, you can send them back to the hand instead. So it's really, really good, and it makes all your Madolches beat sticks. Overall, great card. And you can bounce back with Croissant, which is really, really good. Then we have 3 Ticket. This card's so broken. Basically, I'll read this too because they all have confusing text. When a Madolche card is returned from your side of the field or graveyard to your hand or main deck by a card effect, add 1 Madolche monster to your hand. If you control face-up fairy-type Madolche monster, you can special summon the monster from your deck in face-up attack position instead of adding it to your hand. And you can only use the effect of Ticket once per turn. So it is very, very good with the deck. When you have like Chateau and Ticket out, it's like so good because like Madolche is like destroyed by opponent's battle. It goes back to your hand. Ticket triggers. You add a card back to your, or you add a card from your deck to your hand. And if you have like Tiramisu, which is a fairy, you can special summon it. So it's pretty broken. Next we have 2 Duality. Basically for consistency, you rarely special summon in this deck, other than like you feel like special summons, and Exceeding. 2 MST. You don't make a lot of big pushes, so MST isn't great in this deck, but this deck does lose to Warning, Bottomless, Deep Prison, stuff like that, because now the Madolches actually have to be in your possession, so they don't get their effects when they're warninged. 2 Forbidden Lance, for basically the same reason. Also helps you get over stuff, which is good. Doesn't help against Warning, but against Bottomless and Deep Prison it does. Heavy Storm and Dark Hole. I don't play Reborn because of all the continuous and field spells. Continuous spell cards and field spells, so. For the traps, Madolche Palooza, basically you special summon all Madolches in your hand to your field, and then during the end phase they're all shuffled back into the deck, so it's basically like an OTK card. Usually you won't have to worry about the secondary effect because you'll be exceeding. Ultimate Offering, this is pretty much the gateway of the deck. Basically all you need is Ultimate Offering and Madolche Mageline, and you win. You can make a whole lot of exceeding plays. You can just do some crazy combos. 1 Starlight Road, you do play a field spell, you play a continuous spell, offering sometimes face up on the field, and you play a lot of defense cards like all these traps, so you do want to protect them. I don't like 2 because I think it's dead draw sometimes, but I definitely like 1. I'm playing 1 Solemn Judgment. I'm not playing Warning in this deck. You take a lot of damage early on because in the early parts of the game, if you ever played this deck, all you're really going to be doing is summon Mageline, get Mageline, and your Mageline will get destroyed. You take damage there, and Warning's just not a very good card in this deck, in my opinion. So you only play the Judgment. The Judgment is just too good of a card not to play, and you can play it no matter what life points you're at, which is really, really good too. 2 Phoenix Chain, because 2 chains, and pretty much it's like another effect Veiler, and it's a versatile card I really like in this deck, and Inzectors are rising in play. Phoenix Chain basically wrecks them, so. Then we play 2 Torrential. Your Madolches don't get their effects, but you can just shuffle them back into the deck with Chateau after you activate another one, and it's just needed in my opinion. For more mass destruction, we also play a Mirror Force. Mirror Force is great in the deck because they want to make big pushes, because usually you're only like setting 1 because you don't want to get wrecked by heavy when you have like the field card and the continuous, the Ticket, out, so they want to go for a big push because you only have like one set. It's Mirror Force, and it just punishes bad players too. So I want to fit in a second, but I don't have the room right now. It's already 42 cards. I'm pretty sure it's 42. 2D Prison. I played over Bottomless. I like it over Bottomless. And 2 compulsory activation devices. So for the main, I guess we'll go over the extra. I don't have a side build for this deck, unfortunately, but this video is already 10 minutes, so I'm going to go fast with this. I play 2 Tiramisu. Basically, I'll just read the effect, and I'll tell you a new ruling with it. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, then target up to 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, shuffle those cards into the deck, then shuffle cards your opponent controls into the deck up to the number of Madolche cards you returned. So basically, it used to be that you did not have to have a target engrave because of the way it was worded, but they changed it, so now you need to have a target engrave to activate the effect, so it's not as amazing, but it's still really good. It's a 2200 Beatstick and then 2700 Chateau, so it's broken. In my opinion, it's the best Exceed of the deck. One of the new cards, Gaga Cowboy. I took out Gemini Pro for this. I just think this card's a lot better, in my opinion, and it's that extra 800 burn that sometimes you need for the game. Abyss Dweller, it's great against the Dark World matchup, great against the Mermail matchup, and yeah. Photon Papillar Operative, enough said, this card's really, really good. Utopia and Utopia Ray, you go into Utopia a lot, and I love Utopia Ray, it just wins games out of nowhere. Maystroke, great card, overall. Fairy King Alberv Ditch, I'm not so sure about this card, I'm probably going to keep it in, but I rarely summon it other than when I'm OTKing and I need an Exceed material in graveyard now for Tiramisu's effect, so. Oh. 1 Shockmaster, you can make it in the deck, so I figured why not. Onto the rank 3s. 1 Giga Brilliant, I'd probably take this out for Black Ship of Corn, but since I just got it, as you guys saw, it's not in right now. Basically, Giga Brilliant, you use Swarm a lot. Mid to late game, and Giga Brilliant's a nice card, but I rarely go into it, like really rarely go into it, and I just think Leviathan's an overall better card if you need an Exceed material engrave. So I'm definitely or a Madolche monster engrave, so I'm definitely thinking this is going to be Black Ship of Corn, but yeah, I haven't tested it out yet. 1 Zen Mains, 1 Tim Tempo, 1 Leviathan, and then for the Starlight Road you play Starless Dragon. So that is the deck, guys. Tell me what you think, and tell me what you think of Black Ship of Corn. Do you think it's going to be a staple? Do you think it's going to be broke? It's going to be a staple in all decks that run rank 4s. It's just too good. It's Zenmain's killer right here. Like, this is like a faster version of Tempo if you're going against the Zenmains. And so many decks can easily utilize rank 4s, like Geargia, Machina Gadget, and Madolches. Not too many decks like that are tier 1 can utilize them now that I can think of. But I do think it's a really, really broken overall card, and I definitely recommend picking up this book. They're actually pretty interesting. Like, I read them. Like, that kind of sounds nerdy, but I actually read them, and the card is just another bonus. So, that's all I got, guys. Peace out.